Hey guys, how is everyone today? It's Alfie here. That's all working. All right. Um, Thanks for coming. If you join us and for listening, what this stream is going to be about is going to be a review of 2018 from a London Esports perspective. How I think we performed in terms of competitively, behind the scenes, what our plans are for next year, our goals that we set last year going into 2019, and whether we achieved them or whether we didn't. Because we did last year, we did release a similar type of thing, but we didn't stream it. It was just a YouTube video onto our YouTube where me and Billy, who was the then director, sat down and discussed our 2018 and basically how we wanted to go into 2019. So I think we're just basically going to go through it all. It may take a little bit of time, but I think it's important that me personally go through this sort of stuff with yourselves who are actually interested in this, so we can show this transparency and show what we're thinking and how we want to improve and get your opinion. So does everything look good? Is everything all right? It's been a bit of a nightmare to sort this out. If you're out there, hello, Frozen Fraser 2. Is everything? You hear me all right? Is everything good? If I look over, if you see me looking this way as well, it's because my other monitor's there. So I'm not like, yeah, it's weird looking at the camera. Hey Bailey, hey Mandin, how are you guys? Are you good? So yeah, just to go through it again, I just briefly summed it up, but this is going to be a sum up of 2018 and our goals for 2019. So if I sound alright, shall I just get straight into it? Bit weird, I'm not sure. But we're doing it because also I had Billy with me, so I had someone to bounce off of. So hopefully it's all good. I'm just gonna start. If there's any issues, then just put it in the chat, and then I'll sort it out. If you have any questions as well about anything I say or anything you want to know, then just throw it in the chat, and then at the end I'll answer all the questions I can. So yeah, let's get started. So I wanted to start this by going over what I was saying before, our video that we did in 2018 where we rounded up 2018 and the goals we wanted for 2019. The best place for me to start, I think, is what our goals were for 2019 and whether we achieved them. If we achieved them, whether we didn't achieve them, what went wrong, what went right, and we can go from there. So I've gone back and watched the video and I've written them down what our goals for 2019 were, so I'll go through them. Our first goal was a pretty broad goal. It was to win EPS or ESL UK Premiership, which was the reason that was a goal was because when we made the video it was only a week away, because ESL Prem, the one that we won in January, was the 3rd or 4th of January or something around there, so it was sort of like very imminent, which we did win. So that was our first goal of the year after 5 days or 4 days, however long it was, we achieved. So good way to start the year. I'll break that down more later when I talk about this Counter-Strike scene and our sort of thoughts in Counter-Strike and what our plans are with that. Our next goal was to be represented in more games, so have more. Hey Nacho, we want to be represented in more games. I just noticed the stream chat isn't working, is it? Should I sort that out? Oh gosh, I don't know, so I'm just going to leave it for now. It's going to be a bit dodgy, but sorry about that. Yeah, the goal was to be represented in more games. So we were sort of known as a Counter-Strike team, and we wanted to broaden our horizons a little bit, and I think we did that quite well in 2019. Not as much or to the level that we wanted to, but we picked up players in Smash Ultimate, and we picked up a battalion team as well as a Counter Strike, and we did try to get in at so many different areas, but it just wasn't right, the timing wasn't right, or there was issues. So um, I feel like we definitely predominated more with Counter Strike again this year, which was sort of kind of obviously going to happen. But with the expansion into Battalion and into Smash, which again I'll touch on later as separate separate titles. I also want to touch all the titles separately. We'll go into more discussion on how they went, but I feel like we did that better. I do want to do that one better into 2020, and again I'll go through that later when we discuss the goals for 2020. Another goal for us was to be was more content creation, which I feel like we failed in. I'm not too happy with the content creation that we created over the last year. I think we released around 8 to 10 videos over the year, which I just don't think is enough. And they ranged from meeting the players to like a documentary, small documentary of the Epic Clown that we went to, that we came second at. So those were the ideas. So we started off really strong, we started releasing these series, and then we sort of dwindled down as time went on and the content creation came less and less. So although we did some form of content creation, a lot better than 2018, I still wasn't happy with what we did in 2019. So that is definitely something that we want to be doing, looking at to do more in 2020, and again I'll touch on that later. Another goal was to be as transparent as possible with yourselves and with other people in the scene, and I feel like something that we do quite well is we are and we try to be as transparent as possible to the people that support us and the people that just ask the question, to the people that just DM me. There should never be a chance where we say we can't tell you this, we can't tell. Obviously there's limits, but I do try to be as helpful as possible and as transparent, and let people know what's going on inside of like my head and what's going on behind the scenes. Hence the reason with these videos, which mean transparent. So transparent, I think the way I say it is, again, I kind of want to lay everything out on the table, what we're going through. I say, you know, for example, if we trying to get into a specific game, say for example Rainbow Six, we've been trying to get into Rainbow Six for 5-6 months now, but we physically just can't because the rosters never line up, or what they want is just nothing that we don't agree with, etc. As well as people who own other organisations, for example, they can come to me and ask me a question about how to do this, how to do that, or if a support asks me why is this, why is that, I will try to answer as possible. Yes, but Rainbow Six is definitely on the cards in 2020. We are really trying, but who knows. So that's what when people are transparent, and videos like this where we sit down and talk is something I want to do more. We will be doing one of these every year for as long as we go, and hopefully that's for a very long time. So yeah, so that sort of transparency level that you maybe don't get at sort of a bigger organisation, and we want to keep this going. Another goal was running community nights, so this sort of ties in with the whole community content creation type thing. The plan for 2019 was to really double down on content creation and really build a community around it, which again, like I said, we really failed. So what we're going to do for 2020 going forward, again I'll touch on it a bit later, but we want to actively start using our Discord, start doing community nights, start having an active community around London. I have a question. You can throw your question in and I'll give it an answer. It's a bit scared now, but so they were our goals for 2019. When am I going to shave that moustache? I'll shave the moustache when we win our next LAN. How about that? So another 8 months. Yeah. So that was our goals for 2019. I'm not sure how I feel about them. We did okay, but I do think we can do a lot better, and I think we will do a lot better. Send me to Epic, moustache will be gone. LDM fan art would be amazing. I'd love to see some LDM fan art. Send me to Epic. It's a set. I'll let you shave it at Epic Land. We'll shave it as soon as we get the little trophy. It's sort of like a staple now with me, I think. Where is it? But so what's next? So after the goals, I think I want to discuss basically each title, starting with Counter-Strike. We've had a very turbulent year in Counter-Strike. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. It has been a big roller coaster, and I think anyone from the outside can see that from sort of the rosters we've had, and somehow how short some have been, and all the changes we've had to make. So going into 2019, we had the same roster that ended 2018, that just won Grosvenor Season 1, which was the likes of Astro, Imi, Eccles, etc., who started off the year really well with the EPS win, like I discussed. They were then taken away from us by Fierce. Trying to make sure I don't say anything wrong. They went to Fierce, should I say, and we then picked up the former Dislown team, which was Link, Adam, Ash, and etc. etc. You guys know the names, and they really came into their stride underneath us. They won Grosvenor Season 2, so that made it 2 times that we won it. They won Insomnia under our name, all within a short amount of time. So this was by, the summerish time. So it was a really good start of the year to us for Counter-Strike. We was winning. We were sort of, again, going top 30 Europe. We were sort of titled like the number 1 UK team as London. They obviously left to go to Vex, which was a big jump for them in terms of organisation thing. To be fair, Vex are obviously a big organisation from the UK, so I was excited for them and I was happy for them. But obviously meant that we didn't have a Counter-Strike team anymore. So, and that's sort of where we started questioning whether, because there wasn't actually that many Counter-Strike teams around that weren't either with an org or were maybe not performing the way they should have performed. So that's when we started reaching out, and we picked up our team with Alex, ZNX, shall I say, and that's sort of, I say, when we had a turbulent time. Nothing against the guys, they were all good, but we had issues and we had roster changes, and we couldn't really. The idea of the project was to start from this team and push and push and push, and we did well at Insomnia. I can't remember if it was 65 or 66. I don't know when Insomnia ran out of money. Where they played and they got third. Yeah, third, and we need to point out with sort of minimal practice, and we thought we could go on there from there, but it didn't really work out. And this year Counter-Strike's been, like I said, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and we've kind of ended on the low side of it. We started off really good and we're sort of ended down. So going into 2020, we of course want to stay in Counter-Strike in the UK scene. I'm not really sure what options there are out there. Obviously we're always looking, we're always trying to invest into it, so we'll just have to keep our eye out for that one and see how that one goes, I guess, for now for Counter-Strike. I want to talk a bit about Battalion as well, which is another title that we invested into, which I think was around August. We announced the pickup of a Battalion team, which was Battalion's a game that not many people may have heard of or know of, but it is actually a very good game. I play it myself. The actual mechanics and the gameplay of it is very, very good, like really good. But there's just been some issues with the way it's been handled and the way the way the developers have pushed it out there. So it's kind of now on the down end. I don't want to say dying, but it's not as big as it probably should be in terms of how good the game is. But we still picked a team up because there was announcements of esports, and we thought it was going to be a resurgence, and we wanted to be a part of it. And there was a resurgence, definitely. So we went to Epic Clan with them in Epic 20. I can't remember the date. Epic 28, I think. And I came second, and it was a really good result. Because although we sort of knew we were like the second best team, it was just sort of the first time we could actually go to a LAN and prove it. Endpoint obviously beat us there, which was a shame. But that's all we can. That's all we could have hoped for, was just to get top 2 at least, and then try and push to get that first place over the next few LANs going up. So after that, we had 2 LANs really back to back. We had Victory LAN in Belgium, and we went to NA into Philadelphia. So Victoryland, I'm sure if the guys were here, they would also say it was a bit disappointing to have the result that we had, with Endpoint being knocked out so early in the game. We feel like it was our tournament to take, but at the end of the day, this sort of stuff happens, and unfortunately we got knocked out as well early doors. So that was a bit of an upsetting land, shall I say? And we went straight onto, about 2 days later, we had to fly over to California for the Philadelphia event. So we had to re-pick ourselves up and go straight into it. And yeah, it was an amazing event. California is sort of like a dream of mine to not only go to California, but to have a team that's actually competing for a big prize pool in America, and to be able to take players over to America it's an achievement for myself, and something that I won't forget ever. So I'm really happy for that. So that was definitely a notable thing for me for 2019. But once we was there, it was obviously all business to get the win. Unfortunately, it didn't really turn out like that. We had some games. We won some games that we should have won, and we lost some games that we shouldn't have lost. And with that, it made us end up third place, which was again a bit of a disappointment, seeing as we wanted to get at least top 2 at all these events. So we take that on the chin. But with Battalion now, the current state of it, I'm not too sure what's going on. The players are no longer representing us, sort of at the moment. All taking a break because Battalion don't seem to be announcing any more events. It seems that maybe there's going to be a break for them. So for us, I think that it will mean that we will be coming out of Battalion. So I take this time to I guess thank the guys from Battalion and wish them the best in the future. But yeah, we just need to see. Hopefully they'll be back when Battalion comes back. Other than Battalion, obviously Smash Ultimate was a big thing for us in the year. We recruited Pelly and Afro Smash, and they've done really well for us. They've won loads of events for us, and loads of, in the Yuki circuit, they've done really well. Pelly again started off the year really well. He had a bit of his break, but he came back and we were supporting him. With Smash as well in 2020, we really want to push Smash. We love the game. We love the community around it, and we are trying to basically invest into it and help the ecosystem as much as possible. I know it doesn't get as much love as it should do, so therefore I think someone needs to take a step and be the people that sort of drive it, and we want to be that. So we've recruited management into it to do a sole focus of it. We're recruiting players. We'll be recruiting more players in 2020, and we'll be also giving a chance for someone who may not be in the light at the moment as like an amateur player a chance to join us. So 2020 will be a good year for Smash, and also as well as that, hopefully we can plan to put on a tournament in London is one of the goals. So we really do want to invest in Smash, and we really want to continue our support in it, and with Pelly and Afro by our side. So with that, I wanted to basically have a short break to take you through one of the top things that happened to us in the year, which was winning the ESL Premiership 2018. So I wanted to relive that, if you were fine with you, by, let me move myself over here. I wanted to rewatch the video with you guys of us actually winning the event. That should work. Take a look back into the Prem. So this was obviously ESL Prem 2018 January. This was our first big LAN win, I would say, after Grosvenor Season 1. So that was our 2018, 2019 start of the year. Was there no sound in the video? Well, sorry, that's awkward. There was just some commentator stuff. That's a bit annoying, but yeah, that was how we started 2019. So winning the event, and going on to win 3 more lands in Counter Strike. We also won a lot more in Smash. I can actually get the numbers up if I can find it. Where is it? It's here. So overall in Smash, we got 9 first place results this year. So yeah, so for this year I think we ended up with 13 first place results at events and 9 second place. So I would say competitively wise it was a very good year for us. We really wanted to this is something that we really wanted to achieve. We really wanted to push and become known as a more competitive organisation and someone who was at the top. But I do think as well that it shouldn't end here. I think we can push and even get double this next year. I think we slowed down a lot during the sort of middle of the year and towards the end. Thought you said 9. So we had 9 Smash result wins, and the other games like Counter Strike and other events that we populated in. So that's how it all adds up. So overall for London Esports for the year, it's 13 first place and 9 second place results. Is how it breaks down. So over into the next year, we want to improve on that as well. And like I said, I think we can with the breakdown that we had in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, because of certain members leaving. For example, we discussed Billy, who's in the chat now. The old director, he left because there was issues with his, I think, with his work ethic. He wasn't able to put enough time in, and I think that slowed down the organisation itself. So now we're able to move forward and continue to push the way we want to push, and carry on. Another big thing that happened this year for us also one of the biggest things that happened to us is our partnership with SteelSeries UK. So we met with the Hal from SteelSeries, and we discussed with him about the potential of sponsoring London Esports and sort of what we can do for him, and he really believed in our vision, what we want to achieve, and our overall branding, and he took the jump, and we became the first UK esports organisation to be sponsored by SteelSeries, and I think that is actually something that's quite proud to be of in 2019 as well, to have that supporting from a major company, and to be trusted with representing them and pushing their name forward as we are. It's something that was really good for us, and it's really yep. If on our website, I'll link it now. There is a page, although it's not fully updated, which is quite bad. There's a page. So in there you can see the 2 players, Afro and Petty, and also some of our results, our big results, at the top of the screen. But yeah, so with SteelSeries, I want to thank them for supporting us throughout this year, going into next year, and being able to allow us to do what we can do, and yeah, basically become a better version of the organisation that we were in the start of the year. With that being said, our goals for 2020. Now, I think this is like the biggest thing. I think it's quite hard to say what our goals for 2020 actually is, just because there's so many that I can think of in my head. But I did write some down just to get back into, just to have some to say here, should I say. So our first goal, I think, would be similar to one of the goals from last year, was to basically be represented in more games than what we are. We want to be one of the biggest organisations within Europe, within the world, and obviously we have to start soon. Or we've already started, but we have to start pushing it soon. So we really want to, be known for more than just Counter Strike, and that's why we are going to be pushing out for more games. I can't say which games yet, because I'm not really allowed to say, but we have got stuff working, stuff in the pipeline, shall I say, for what we're going to be represented in next year, and it will be games that we've been represented before but we haven't been represented in a while, games that maybe we haven't been represented in before, and a lot of that actually is as well within the UK with UK players, so supporting the UK ecosystem is something that we really want to help as well, and I think with the plans that we have, it's a win-win situation. Content creation again for 2020 is something that I want to touch on. Like I said, it was really poor for 2019, or I say not up to what I'd want. So in 2020, we've already worked on bringing in content creators. So we have 3 content creators that will be joining us, which we're just going through now. So I can't announce anything yet, but it will be really good. There's a lot to announce already. We have an announcement coming on the 4th of January, an announcement coming on the 25th of January, and probably another announcement in between January. So we have a busy first month in the year, and that is due to content creation, and our plan for next year to really smash out these videos, really smash out content creation, really build a community, and have something that you as supporters are proud to watch, and proud to be a part of. And then again goes back into the community night. So with that, we also hired Sam recently, who's been our Discord manager, who's been really sorting out our Discord, and this has been allowed us to get something ready so that when we want to start doing community nights, we can host them in Discord. And with this, what I want to do is I want to get other professional players in and competing against the supporters, or even if it's just the supporters themselves, all joining into one place on, let's say, every Thursday night, and we can then talk all things London, have some fun, play some games, and have a place to all discuss. So what I will do is I will send a link to the Discord. So that is our Discord. So join that, and as we carry on building it, isn't ready yet, but we will be building that into the new year, and we'll be announcing that. And yeah, so that's going to be massive for us, the community side, and we're working on that now, so it's going to be really good. But other than that, the goals for 2020 is to continue what we're doing. We have a new jersey coming out soon, which is quite exciting. That's being designed as it speaks. So have you any sort of preferences of what you want to have on jersey wise, if there's any sort of design you'd prefer, or then just drop me a message or put it here, and then we can possibly add it to the jersey. But that should be coming out in the next few weeks, which is exciting. And on top of that, we do have more hoodies and clothing coming out merchandise wise for pickup, because I think that's something that we want to push into 2020, is again that feeling of something that we can wear when we are supporting London. I want to be more direct with the fans and have something that they can support us with, and I think merchandise at a cheap rate is definitely something that is really good, and I want to make sure that it stays as cheap as it physically can go, because I don't want to be charging £80 for a hoodie, because I don't think that's necessary. So that should be really good in 2020, and yeah, I think 2020 should be really good in that sense, and hopefully we can win a lot more, and we can have just as good as a year, but 10 times better. So I think that sort of sums up the whole of everything. I don't think there's anything I've missed out. If there's any questions, then send them over so I can answer them. But if not, then just drop me a DM on Twitter, or I'll be uploading this to YouTube, so put a comment there and I'll make sure to get back to you. Alright then. Thanks for coming out anyway and listening to me ramble for the last 25, 30 minutes, however long it was. But I really hope that we have a good year. Good year 2020, and I hope we can continue to push on the way we are and reach the goals that we definitely want to push, because I think we've got a really supportive fan base out there, and I think we deserve to take it further than it is at the moment, and we will do that. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.